in the settings, there's like a turn live, like turn on live streaming, and then it takes them about 24 hours to do that.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I'll stop talking.
Nope, you're fine. Keep talking. I don't care. That's all right. We will. I need to pod you up a little bit more so I can get a good level on you. Go ahead and talk to us a couple times here.
Test, test, test. I'm hanging out with Bruce. We're behind the scenes, hanging out in the recording. Test, test, test.
She is out of the green room and into the live.
Out of the mist and into the conversation.
Yes. So
love the colors.
Do you like that?
I really do.
Yeah, I got let's see, Chat. I don't know if Chat GPT did that one for me, or I'm telling you, if you get good at the prompts, you can create just about anything.
Oh yeah,
that's the
it's
thing.
Amazing. Yeah. Although sometimes it goes horribly wrong. Sometimes I'm like, what? That's not what I asked for at all.
That's the other thing is if you are not hardcore about directing, it'll go.
You got to be bossy. Yeah.
Yeah. It constantly wants to go. Oh, let me tell you about this, and how about if I do this? And no. I just want you to stay on this. I mean, it really has ADD or ADHD.
Yeah, it sure does.
Oh man, it drives me insane. Like today, I was trying to get it to create something at work, and it kept saying, "Well, how about we do this? How about I give you another thing, and we can then do this?" And I'm like, "Let's just stay on task here." I call it Scott.
Not?
I call mine Scott, and I said, "Oh golly, man, you're driving me insane. Just stay on task."
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, you have one task at a time. You're right. It does. It's your ADHD best friend. Where you're like, wait a sec.
It really
you gotta
is.
be on focus here.
She's got the vision in her mind's eye. Live stream leader reaching past the sky. From Mac to mic, she builds the vibe. In studio glow, she's alive. Historic home with soul and style. Every creaky floorboard's worth the while. And out back you'll find her crew. A flock of chickens with a front porch view. Katie Fawkes, you like the way turning clicks into community today. Break the barrier, build the dream. Live unleashed beyond what seems. With heart and grit, you lead the pack in the flow. There is no turning back.
Well, hello, folks. Here we are today. Oh, hit the wrong button. That's all right. That's what we get to do it again for if we have to. So anyway, we're here today at Beyond Limits, and we're breaking barriers and building belief. And today I have the awesome opportunity to get to interview one of my heroes in the podcasting world, and that's Katie Fawkes. She is with Ecamm. She is their marketing director, and she's been doing that for a while now, and she is amazing at building community. And that's one of the things we're trying really hard here at Beyond Limits to do is build community. And, you know, the thing about Katie is this. If you have a house from the 1700s, you have 9 chickens, a VHS podcast, and a job helping streamers take over the world, you'd be Katie Fawkes. But here's the thing, you're not. So we brought her here so you could meet her today and get to listen to what she finds incredibly important in her world of Ecamm and marketing there with them. Katie, it's a pleasure to have you. Let's see if we can get you up on the screen. Oh, wrong shot. Wrong. There we go. Ta-da! We got you.
Hi, Bruce. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for having me today. I really appreciate being here.
Well, I tell you what, since I got to be on the show with you and Doc, I have wanted to. I'd love to get Doc too, but I don't know if we can do the rated R version of Doc. So
he's hard to rein in.
A little, you know, like I told him that day on the podcast, I said, Doc, you just like to make sure everybody thinks that you're a heathen. Mm-hmm. You know, he has deep belief. He just doesn't like to share it. You can tell.
I believe it. I believe
It comes out in his in the certain things. He reverts back to grandma and the upbringing.
He cares deeply for family and for community and for just for people, for spending time and helping people. Definitely, probably one of the few people that I know that is like, you could pick up a phone and call him anytime and he will be there. So definitely.
I can sense that of him. And I haven't reached out to him since you sent me his email, and I need to. I keep thinking, man, I need to just send him an email and just thank him for everything, and I will. But him being on the other side of the world
makes it tricky sometimes. I'm always like, oh shoot, I sent that text. What time was that? What time in the morning is that in Hawaii? Exactly. He's very patient about that for sure.
Well, I know when you all are when you're doing the flow on Tuesdays, and he's up at noon. You're our noon here in Eastern.
My noon, our noon.
Yeah.
It's
what is
it
that,
changes.
5?
I think it's like 6 or 5 a.m. depending on when, because they don't do daylight savings, so I'm always off by an hour. But it's very early. It's way earlier than I would ever get up. So he's very patient to do that with me.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you here today, and I just want to thank you so much for taking the time. I know you've already had a busy day.
Oh gosh, no problem.
And getting to do another interview with another famous podcaster today as well. So just thank you for the time.
Of course.
I want to give our folks just a little bit of background on you. And the cool thing about Katie is that she lives in a house from the 1700s. That's one of the cool pieces of her world.
Sure
and,
did.
I'm going to let you tell a little bit about it, but it's just this really cool house. I've seen a picture of it once somewhere. I think it was in a shot you'd done or something. And just tell us a little bit about the house.
Yeah, well, so I have the pleasure of living in New England, where things are pretty old. Not as old as in Europe, and some of our international friends can certainly beat me. But a big thing that we had always wanted to do was to live in a historic house. It was, I think when you choose to live in a house that's this old, you're really much more of like a guardian of the house and of the history than you are someone that is living in a house or a home. And so when this one came up for sale, this house was built in about the 1730s, which is wild because it's older than the country itself, which I just still can't even wrap my head around. But it's just, it's got such character and charm, and the history of the house runs deep. And I love that it's constantly, we have a young family and we're always having people over and doing things. So I love that it's just always been this really welcoming space where there's always, people running in and out. As we said, we have more animals than we really should. So there are dogs, there's guinea pigs, there's chickens, there's lizards, there's everything all running in and out and all around the property. So hopefully we are doing it proud by always having lots and lots of stories to add to the history of this house. But I definitely need to do a history project at some point and figure out. I know the Jewell family owned the house initially and owned a number of the houses in the property in this area, but I should definitely do some deeper research to figure out exactly the true story of the house.
That's a very famous family from up east in the New England. Yeah. If anybody knows anything about the history of New England,
email me.
that goes way back to before the colonies. Yep. Or the starting of the colonies. So that name is a very, very famous name. Hope you enjoyed your little animation there.
I did. I love it. I'm such a geek these days for all of the cool things that you can do using some of these AI tools, and it's always never ceases to amaze me what's possible. I love it. I love the neon colors, by the way, too. It's very 90s, very me.
Well, thank you. You know my backdrop here, and I love the purple and pink. That's what I went with when I first started.
Oh, yeah.
And, somebody said, well, you look just like Doc. And I said, well, his is purple.
Yeah,
mine's got pink. Yeah, I got the pink in there. So I'm not afraid to go pink. It's all right.
No, I love it.
You can tell the little Ecamm. I was going to try to get that to glow too, but I didn't run out. I ran out of time. The cool thing is a great story I heard Doc talk about when they were in your, I don't know if this was last year, when they were all 30 people in your kitchen. And he said, it's a kitchen.
We're getting ready for that.
He said it was a kitchen that you could do a live cooking show in. It's so big.
It is, we're lucky. It is big. It's definitely a big old farmhouse, which is, again, the exact vibe that we were going for. We do, so I grew up in Canada, and we do every year Canadian Thanksgiving.
Oh,
which
yeah.
Everyone is always like, oh, do Canadians celebrate that? We do. We celebrate Thanksgiving, but it is in October instead of November, which gives us the opportunity to use it as a really fun kind of potluck style Friendsgiving. So that's actually coming up this weekend for us. So we always have an insane amount of people. I think this year we have 35 people coming. So I'm happy for the big kitchen. Still going to be tight. It's not that big a kitchen, but it should be a lot. It should be a lot of fun. We always set up a ton of tables and chairs outside or in the barn and have people just drop in and out and enjoy time and company and space and place together, which is always a lot of fun.
So is Doc coming?
Not this year. Last year it timed up right exactly with Creator Camp, which was a little bit later for us. This year was a bit earlier, so unfortunately we don't have some of our Creator Camp friends coming, but we did have them last year. Doc froze because he's so used to his warm Hawaii weather, and I think it was like maybe 65 or 70 here, which is perfect for us, but not great for him. He had his coat on.
Goodness,
but he was a good sport about it. He still sat there and chatted with everyone and enjoyed the food. So.
Well, we know that Katie has chickens. We know that Katie has ducks and kids and a husband.
Sure do.
And all of those things. And excuse me, I'm not sure how she's able to balance it all.
Badly sometimes, and then not so bad other times. It really depends on the day.
You know, somebody told me, and this is so true, there's only 24 hours in the day. And we can't make any more. We can't stretch it any further, but sometimes we just have to lose sleep to be able to get the things done.
Or get by with the help of I live entirely in a village, both from work and in my personal life. So everyone is always giving me all these incredible compliments on all of the community work and building I do, but I have like an incredible, super supportive community of family and friends who are always like happy to pick up my kids or to feed my chickens or to help my husband do something. Or so it really does come down to like find and surround yourself with incredible people, and then a lot of this stuff gets a little bit easier because there's a group that can help accomplish all of it. So lucky to have those people.
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
No, you're good.
We lived in Eastern Kentucky for about 10 years before we moved up here, and 8-9 years really, but we were so cut off from everybody. And I mean,
that's hard.
Literally when the sun didn't come up until 10 o'clock and it didn't, and it went down at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, we lived in a deep holler. And I'm telling you, I grew up in a town just west of Cincinnati. So we were always around big things. We could go to the mall. We could go, I could be at the grocery store in 10 minutes. And everything was 25 to 30 minutes to get to. And my wife,
that's isolating.
She went to Morehead State and got her undergrad and her master's. And then I fell in love with her and we got married, and she already had a house. I didn't. So I moved there, and oh my goodness, it was awful. But so we moved back here. We moved back here because I told her, I said, I'm either going to go crazy or I'm going to, maybe jump
help
off
me.
Of a bridge.
I got to get out of here.
And so her parents are about 25 minutes from us, not even that far, about 20 minutes. And then I moved my parents from Indiana up here about 5 years ago. So everybody's close. I still have a sister that lives over in Indiana, but now we're all kind of a nice tight, like you were telling, in our church, we got a great support system there. We've got, we got two other families that we do life together with. So I definitely understand what it means to have that balance of support, and it means everything. It really does.
It really does. Yeah.
So one of the cool things with Katie is that she is one of the voices behind the microphone when it comes to the incredible podcast, The Flow. And I see it after watching so many of your podcasts now and listening to you talk. It's really a ministry. It really is. And some people would never see it that way, but I see it as an opportunity. You're getting to love on people right where they are and getting to bring them closer to the truth every single day.
Very true. Yep.
And so it's just a great ministry opportunity. I feel like I'm not wanting to really deep dive into your faith or anything like that, but I just, that's the way I see it. And it's just, and you and Doc really balance each other really well on The Flow. So that makes it really,
thank you.
Really nice as well. So, but from her historic home, Katie's built a remarkable podcasting empire already with her VHS club and with The Flow. And so it's, it's entertainment, it's collaboration with Doc, it's collaboration with your partner with the VHS club. and it's given you a ton of professional expertise already in just a very short time. Because how long have you been with Ecamm?
Been with Ecamm just over 6 years. But it probably took me about a year to really find some kind of footing in first live streaming and then moving into live streaming and podcasting.
Sure.
I definitely avoided all aspects of it for the first probably 3 months. And then kind of went kicking and screaming into it. No, I honestly when I first joined the team, one of the first projects that they had for me was to launch this live show because they wanted to be doing more live streaming to really better understand what their customers were seeing and to connect with all of the incredible creators who wanted to give back and wanted to, have conversations with the team. And I think it was, don't quote me on this, but I want to say it was episode like 6 or 7 before I ended up actually on camera. Like the first 6 or 7 episodes was me being like, okay, so maybe today Glenn could interview someone.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe next week it'll be, even our customer support team jumped on. Like they were all before me. I was the absolute last person to jump on screen. And I think I blacked out probably for most of the conversation. I was shaking, I was sweating, I was sure I was doing a terrible job. And it probably took me maybe 10, 15 times of doing it and failing a few times before I got comfortable with it and started wrapping my head around it. And I mean, even now I still have moments where it feels big or it feels daunting, or I'm not happy with how it came out, or I'm like, why am I doing this? So I feel you. If you're sitting there listening or watching and you're like, I don't know how anyone does this. It does take reps, and it does take forcing yourself into uncomfortable situations and seeing how you handle it before you get to a point where it feels comfortable and it feels natural and it feels fun. And it doesn't always. There's moments where it still doesn't feel comfortable or natural or fun.
Yes. Yeah. Just before we started, I couldn't get the live stream to go, and I was like panicking. I was like, "Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
I'm trying to do this in front of a mentor here, and I'm failing miserably." But
I was right there with you, Bruce. One of the earlier interviews that I did was with Luria from Live Streaming Pros, and she's got like 25 years of experience. She was on TV and radio before she got into live streaming and podcasting. And I was like, what if I turn? And I was representing Ecamm, so the pressure felt super high, and yet, at the same time, she's been there. She has had every possible thing happen where lights have gone out and things have fallen and dogs have run across and kids have run in and the internet has died. Like every conceivable thing that's happened, it happens to us all. It's a rite of passage.
Well, when my kids are jumping and bouncing upstairs, and I've got a 15-year-old who likes to tease and pester his 11-year-old sister, and then she likes to do the same back to him, and then it turns
into screaming and running.
So we know that just if anybody listens to anything that you do, we know that you love books, you love to read, and you have an incredible heart for baking.
Sure do.
When I was reading through a lot of that, I kept thinking, oh my gosh, I need to go to New England and get to Boston so that I could get a loaf of bread from her, because I could definitely go for a loaf of bread. But and the cool thing with it is you're a world traveler because you have dual citizenship. And plus you have this eye for crafting, which you can tell just looking at your backdrop there that you definitely love to do crafting.
I do. Crafting, it's so funny. I mean, similar to podcasting and video, crafting is one of those things that I never felt good at, and I just kept trying to find a good space in it, because I really just wanted I wanted something that would be kind of a mental escape from all of the digital computer things that I do on a regular basis. And so it took me a bit to kind of find the few things that I just really enjoy doing. And when it comes to the crafts, I'm still always flabbergasted when people are like, oh, I'd love to buy that from you, or I would love for you to show me how to do this. Because in my mind, I'm like, well, I'm just literally doing this as an escape. And so none of it feels all that good to me, but I do really enjoy the process. But I had to put myself in uncomfortable positions to figure it out. My mom can look at anything and make it in any medium. She's so artistic. She can look at like a picture, she can draw it, she can create it in yarn, she can sew, she's a cake decorator. And she has tried for years and years, my whole life, to teach me how to do any of these things. And I immediately get frustrated and I yell at her and we get in like fights and I can't do it. So it did take me like stepping away from that and being like, well, I'm never going to be her, and that's okay. And I to figure out exactly kind of where were the places and spaces that worked well for me. So it has been, I've been on a creative journey, and I really do feel like over the last 6+ years, I feel like I am finally in a space where I'm just really comfortable with what I like to do, what I feel like I'm good at, what I want to do. And I've just put away all the stuff that, that is not what I want to do, isn't bringing me joy, or I just don't feel like is a good fit for me. And I still pushing myself, obviously, as much as I possibly can to be uncomfortable and to kind of grow and learn. But I've let go of a lot of things that used to really set me off or used to really kind of bring up any of my perfectionist tendencies. So I feel like I'm in a good space. It's been a good ride for me.
Well, good. Well, we know that we talked a little bit about that you love doing the movie critic thing with the VH Club. And
I do, yeah.
I've definitely listened to a few of those because I'm a huge 80s and 90s movie fan myself.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
And so they definitely have already inspired me a little bit. I need to do some more watching of old movies again. And I'm a huge I love Turner Classic Movies. And
that's the best.
Yeah. And so the more you talk about it and the more I've listened, I'm like, oh, I got to get back into watching movies again. I'm not doing enough of it.
Yeah.
But so your two passions right now, besides your family and, what you do at home, are the flow and your VHS club, which is awesome.
Yep.
And, back in the day, Blockbuster, that was a huge thing. Nowadays,
sure was.
It's only a running joke or a sidebar to life, which is kind of sad, but that's all right. And we know that you're the Ecamm director of marketing, which is amazing because you're doing such a great job with that. Your leadership in leading people to community is it's inspiring to me. It really is.
Oh, I'm happy to hear that. Thank you.
And especially the way you're working with the brand, and one of the things that my partner, the co-host with me talks, he goes, you brand everything all the time. You're always branding. Because I have that, that mentality too. Market. You got the more you get it out there, the better it is. And you
absolutely.
do such a great job of that. And as a director of marketing, you're doing you've become a live streaming expert. You helped me do something right before we got started. So,
I'm getting better at it every day.
The community building and the marketing strategies are the big thing that I'm looking at that I really, really am impressed with. And because you're passionate about fostering those connections between the creators and building supportive communities that can encourage growth and authentic, expressions. And that comes through in everything you do. And I love that.
Awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you.
And so it's a good blend for you. I think you're in a good space right now. You're in what people might call their happy place, or in a good season of life. That might be another term they use. Just so this is kind of her day. This is kind of the way it goes for her. She's going to be doing chores. She's going to do podcasting. There's going to be shows. And definitely with everything that she's doing, it's all centered around the professional focus of making sure that Ecamm is at the forefront and getting that out there. And it worked because you got me hooked, about 6 months ago.
Yes.
And I'm one more disciple in the army, I guess you would say. And that's something else I wanted to say too, is the authentic voice. That's something I love about you, is that it's never contrived. It's never a put on or a facade with you. It's always, always authentic and honest. And I just really appreciate that as well.
Yeah, that's really important to me. And I don't even know, not that I have ever not been myself, but I feel like there was probably a point, and I can't remember the specific, timeline or how far along in this it hit me, but it was like, if I feel this way, other people feel this way. And so why not just say it out loud and admit it and then push it aside and move along? Like
Sure.
And that has really helped me a lot, and I hope has helped a lot of other people, because we all feel that way when we're starting any kind of different new project, whether it's in, any of the different things we've just talked about. So I'm happy to hear that, because I really have been trying to be intentionally vulnerable in what I know and what I don't know, and what moments, feel difficult to me, or what I'm actually doing and using, so that other people feel a little bit safer in this space, because I think it's highly visual. Everyone can see what everyone else is doing, right? So it is nice to hear, like, oh, I'm actually not using the most expensive equipment, or or I have, access to all these different things, but these are the things that I'm actually using and really appreciate on a regular basis. Or, these are the things that are causing me anxiety as I'm trying to think through and plan out, show content or marketing or whatever else it is. Because I think if other people understand that, then maybe it just feels a little bit friendlier, and creates more of a support system and more of a community environment.
That's the key right there, that I've like the Ecamm fam. At first when I kept hearing, I'm like, oh, who wants to be called Ecamm fam? I thought, no,
right?
I'm too cool for school. I don't want to be called the Ecamm. But now I'm really embracing it. And the thing with the Facebook community, it's been so good. I've actually got to meet and actually got to do a live one-on-one the other day with Martin McKenna.
Oh,
just after you did it on Thursday, and then I did it on Friday.
Oh, great! Yeah, I remember. Yeah. So, we put on our superhero vibes.
Yes, I watched that whole thing. That was really cool too. And then the next day, he was going to do that ITSM thing that he was doing, and I was the only one that signed up. Well, I signed up, but I was the only one that showed up.
Oh no!
But it actually was amazing, because I got to ask I was like being the teacher pet. I was like, please, one more. I got one more question.
I'm not done yet. I have more.
How is this working? What are you doing here? It was so awesome. Yeah. And he said, I mean, he wasn't upset. He said, I'm glad it was just you and I. You asked a lot of great questions. So, and he's so affording too. That was the other thing I just loved about him. Somebody to me, this is the honest to goodness truth. Everybody else is playing checkers right now, and he's playing 3-dimensional chess.
He really is. It's amazing.
There is no one even touching what he's doing with Ecamm. Now, yes, he's using some other graphic, like he's using Photoshop, he's using Ideogram. That's his big go-to right now. And I'm kind of like, okay, do I stay with Chat GPT and a couple of the other things I'm using, or do I sell out and go all in on Ideogram?
Yeah, it's hard. There's so many incredible tools these days. It can be totally overwhelming, because none of them are bad or wrong. It's really just about navigating what works best for you and what works best for the kind of content you're creating and your audience. But it is amazing what some people are creating and what's possible. It's really astounding. Yep.
I mean, Jeff is revolutionizing Descript. I think, is it Descript that he used? Yeah, Descript. Yep. And I'm thinking, oh man, look what he's doing with Descript. I need to sell out and go that way. And so I'm like, I can't afford all of this. I got to get another job.
I know, yeah. It can get expensive, that's for sure.
Well, I'm actually, I guess I'm going to put this out to the real world right now. I'm actually going to work on doing some digital products with what we're doing and Beyond Limits, so that we can get some revenue stream in.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
I have to, and I definitely, I've got so much material, and it's like, I don't know what to do with it all. So I've been trying to compound it all, put it all into one thing, and then I'm going to run it through and create an ebook, I think, and then some worksheets, devotionals, different things out of what we're doing. So that way, some of it, like Liz Wilcox, make it subscription based, and I'm trying to take pieces from everybody, and be effective. So anyway, let's get back to Katie. Not me. This isn't about me. This is about her. So if you want Katie to be a part of anything you're doing, not that she can be at everywhere at all times, but at least she can do it digitally and be on the web. She is fantastic at all of these things that are right here on the screen. She can do industry. What's that?
I just said thank you.
Hey, this is about showcasing you. So I want to make sure everybody knows that if you want her to maybe speak Maybe she can do a live stream to your industry event, or she can do a workshop with you, or she could tell you more about how to use Ecamm in business, not just in podcasting, but to use it in the, in the business world. Because Jill, who's your cohort there in ARMS, she's fantastic at the educational side of things.
Yep.
And that's what your team is doing such a great job of filling all the spaces. You're putting, like we call in the old restaurant days, aces in their places.
Yes, aces in their places. Take me back.
So, and also, if you're wanting to talk about marketing and about what's working for Ecamm right now and working for Katie as far as that's concerned, reach out to her. She can give you insights into the strategies that she's using and what's working in her world. Plus, there's all the Flow live video series that they've done, plenty of material there that you can look back through and get great information. We know she's been in 2 countries, 10 cities, 15 different homes. She's been all over the world. So welcome to Katie's world. We're going to stop right there. I'm going to ask a few questions of you and just to kind of give people a little bit more insight. So something in my world I put together a while back is this idea of being transactional, transitional, and transformational. I don't know if we talked about that. I don't think we talked about that piece.
I don't think we did, no.
And so I look at transactional as you're sitting in the crowd and there's somebody on stage doing the thing. They brought you in. It's kind of like back in the day when we were kids. The remote control, that's the transactional piece. If you don't like it, you just flip to the next thing.
Yep.
And if, it's kind of like church. Okay, this church doesn't really work for me, but this one does. And so those pieces on Sunday morning, I'm going to use that as an example, are transactional.
Yep.
Because you're getting something and you're giving your time, you're giving your piece of it there in money if you donate to which they hope you do. And so it's a transactional situation. But then what's supposed to happen, just like in your world, what's going on right now with you, is you're trying to transition those people then from OBS, or sorry if anybody's upset and offended, I just used that, that I'm degrading OBS. Let me tell you, OBS has nothing on Ecamm. I can just tell you that. Anyway, enough said. But so you're trying to transition them from point A to point B. It's that journey piece, the how. How do you get them from here to there? Yep. And then there's the transformational piece, which then once they get into it, then they drink the Ecamm fam Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
And so that's the way I look at everything that I do. There's always going to be a transactional piece, a transitional piece, and a transformational piece. And I see that. That's how you all got me hooked 6 months ago, really and truly. So let's make this conversation that, I wanted to look at how you're doing this with people. So that's where I want the questioning to go here.
Sure.
So getting past the yes. Marty, the gentleman I do the podcast with, is a life coach. I've told you that he's very in tune with the psychological makeup of the brain. Yeah. And so everything he's been teaching, and he's actually 3 years younger than I am. But it's a mentor-mentee thing for me. I've worked under and studied under him. I've worked for him for several years. And the one thing he always talks about is getting past the yes. Always be working as if the yes has already happened. And so that's something I watch you and Doc do so well in the flow is you're already past the yes. You wouldn't be watching if you didn't say yes. So that's the cool piece, that you're already past that. You've helped countless creators go from, I guess I'll try some live streaming, to I can't imagine not doing this without Ecamm as my live stream. What do you think stops most people from getting past that initial yes into the real confidence and action? Because we talked about this piece a lot the day that you all interviewed me. So let me read that again. So what do you think stops most people from getting past the initial yes and into the confidence, into that real confidence and action part?
It's scary. Video is scary innately. So I honestly think we're at this really interesting time where if you are, I mean, honestly, like anywhere from like a teenager up until, age 99, someone has told you at some point that video, it will help you, right? It'll help you grow your business. It'll help you connect with people. It will help you build a community. So you've already heard that over and over and over again in business, in your personal life, et cetera. So people, as you said, they're already at the yes in the idea and the understanding that video will be transformational for them in whatever aspect they're looking at it. So that they get. And they will even get the idea of Ecamm is a great tool to be able to do that professionally. Someone has told them that, they've seen our site, they've seen our show, they've popped in that space. So we often will get all the way to a person who has already bought in on the idea of video, they've already bought in on the idea of Ecamm, they've bought all of the stuff, right? They know to do video, they're going to need a microphone, they're going to need, I'm preaching to the
about a month ago.
Right? They're going to need a computer, they're going to need a camera, they're going to need lights, they need a space, they get that. Where they fall short is in the moment where they have all of the stuff, they've checked all of the boxes off their checklist, they've done all of the easy parts of gathering all the things that they need, right? And now they have to just do the thing. And it's at that point where it gets really scary, it gets really intimidating, they feel really overwhelmed. They open up Ecamm and they're like, is that what I look like on camera? Hard pass, they close it down, right? It's all of those. It's a mindset, and you hit all of those feelings of inadequacy, of imposter syndrome, of all the different things that we're all shame, right? All these different things that we're that hit us, unfortunately, as humans. And video amplifies all of that because it's showing us what we look like. Do we sound that way? We're not sure if that's how we want to sound, right? Like is that really what I wanted to say? And because we're in full control of all of it, we have the ability to just shut it down, to hit that pause button, to hit the stop button, to give ourselves 8 million different excuses. It's that hump that's the hardest part to get people over. So it's kind of an interesting challenge as a marketer because, imagine a world where you're selling sneakers, right? And everyone comes in and they're like, they've bought the sneakers, and then they get outside and they're like, they don't know how to walk, right? So they're just standing there in the sneakers. They've already bought them from you. But in order to help other people learn about the sneakers, you need the people who are wearing them to successfully walk in them and to say how much they love them and to pull more people into the store. And so for us, it's really important which is why we do so many community efforts, which is why there is an Ecamm Fam. It's really important for us to make sure that people get over that hump and feel successful and feel confident and are winning versus shutting it all down. Because the reality is that even if they decide Ecamm is not for them, they still are going to need to figure out video somewhere else, right? So they've still already been sold on the message of video. So why not Ecamm? Why shouldn't we help them figure out how to be their best selves? Because honestly, when they are, it's everything we were talking about earlier is such a feeling of confidence and of pride and of excitement and fun when you do get to the other side and you get to have these valuable conversations and you get to connect with people that you never thought you'd meet before and run these huge events and webinars and help people and see the financial benefit from it is so huge. So it's a great question. It's a really different answer than I would have expected when I joined the company. I would have thought that it would have been difficult to sell people on the idea of video or on the software itself. And it's really not. The software honestly sells itself.
Yep.
It's really about empowering people to actually use it and finding those people like yourself who once they start using it, it's exciting. They feel like they're part of the Ecamm Fam. They're telling other people. And because they're creating content, their content is out there and people are asking them, how are you doing that? Because again, we're living in a time and place where people want to be part of video, but they just don't quite know how to get there. They get the physical part of it. They get the buying the stuff, the setting up the studio. Maybe they have questions, but they generally understand that it's the mindset that they need to get past. And honestly, it really just comes with practice, which is hard. There's no easy way through other than being part of a community, other than having people you can call and be like, oh, I didn't like that. How do I do that differently? Or how do, what button do I press to get this result? Or I'm thinking about this idea. Like, we're humans. We want to be able to get help from other people. We want to practice and play together in what we feel is a safe space. So
Sure.
Ecamm requires an Ecamm fam. It requires a community so that people don't feel isolated and alone, because when we're together, we're creating more, we're feeling more confident, we're creating better content, and the better content is getting people to realize, oh, I can do that too. And then that brings more people into the community. So it's a really cool space to be in, but it's definitely very different than I think I would have thought it was looking 6 years ago in as a newbie to all of this.
Well, it's just like I was saying earlier with watching you then and Martin and Neil on Thursday.
Yeah.
I can't remember the other. I can't remember the other guy's name.
Lux from
Yes,
Stream Alive.
Lux.
Yeah.
Yep. And seeing that connection, the camaraderie, the the relationship stuff, all that, and then getting to hang out with Martin for about an hour on Friday, and now getting to hang out with you. It's like, okay, all of our pieces are crossing and connecting here. And that's the cool thing about Ecamm, is that it's, again, creating necessity, but also out of that necessity are these bonds and relationships. And you do such a great job of that. So thank you. But so quickly, I know we're running out of time. I'm sorry.
We're always out of time.
Well, I was wanting to tell everybody about you first and kind of get everybody up to speed. We may have to come back.
We're good. I have a bit more time. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
We'll do a part
maybe we
two.
can come back and maybe finish the end of it another time.
Sure.
But so when you're developing a campaign or you're developing a project, because I know the big thing lately has been the card parties, and those have been going. So I wish I could go to those because I love doing. I would want to be on the production side. I don't want to be in. I'm not a card guy. No offense to all you all that do it. That's cool. But I want to be on that production side of things, because when you were Jill was doing the live remote stuff out on the floor, that's the kind of stuff I just love doing. So that was so amazing. But when you're developing a campaign at Ecamm, how do you ensure it doesn't just get attention, but it actually creates long-term transformation in the creator's mindset or the confidence? How do you work through that? I know you got a great team, but
oh my gosh, yeah, I know. Immediately, I'm like, well, I don't do it by myself. Like I've said, everything else, I'm definitely not alone, which is nice. I mean, like any other marketing team, like we are just constantly trying to understand our customers as best as we can and think through the kind of content that would be valuable not only to new people that we're trying to attract, but to our existing customers. Because again, we're in a place and a space and a time where if our existing customers are really effective in what they're doing, like referral and affiliate sales remain our largest channel, right? So it's the power of our creators showing how incredibly cool and easy and professional it is to use our tool that helps spawn more and more people coming over and making the switch to Ecamm. And that's more successful than any ad campaign I could do, than any kind of more traditional marketing campaign that I could do. We still do all of those, but it's that community that really makes a big difference. So when we're thinking about campaigns like Card Party, or planning out and thinking through events, I'm trying to think through, is this something that would appeal to an existing creator type within our community, right? So Card Party is a great example of this. If you don't know what it is a Pokemon con, basically. It's a conference entirely for fans of Pokemon, and this is inclusive of families and kids who are just collecting cards. It's inclusive of a community of businesses who are selling all of the different memorabilia and cards related to Pokemon. It's the team at eBay who obviously, Pokemon collectors are a huge part of their community. And then there's a number of YouTube creators and podcasters who are sharing their, interviews and connections and stories. That's all within the Pokemon world. It's run by a creator named Pat Flynn, who has been an Ecamm user for, I think, over 10 years at this point. He was used our previous software first and then switched over into Ecamm. And he's a marketing professional. So when he came to us with this idea, he said, hey, I've noticed this huge shift. It used to be that my podcast and my marketing business and everything that I was doing on the marketing side of things was the most kind of quote unquote successful part of my business. That's where like most people were spending. That's where most people were asking for me to come and speak. And then he opened this Pokemon YouTube channel with his son that was supposed to be just for fun and something that he was doing during the pandemic to spend time with his family. And that now is, I believe at this point, at least twice the size and revenue of his main business. So Pokemon has become just this huge world for him, right? And you know, it's something that connects him with his family. He's built a whole community around it. There were 6,000 people at each. He did that card party twice this year, 6,000 plus people at each event. And so he came to us and said, yeah, so not a small amount of people, right? Like huge event. And so when he came to us and said, hey, I think you, Ecamm, could actually really help me in creating this entire live stage, this entire live stream experience that could really showcase our YouTube creators and bring the experience to people that can't be there in person. I want that experience not to just be a recording of the event. I want it to feel like you get a special experience when you're watching from home. And so it was a cool challenge because it checked all the boxes for us, right? Like it's working closely with someone that we know and trust and value as one of our brand ambassadors and a creator, Pat Flynn. We're like all in. Whatever Pat says, we're there, right? So checks that box for us. It's a really unique community of people that we normally are not in front of, but who our creators are sharing about their content and their passion and their hobbies, and they are starting to monetize and grow in ways that maybe even some of our customers aren't quite there yet. So it's a cool audience. Sure. And the third thing is that it puts us in front of a group of our customers that we don't often get to create content for that helps them, right? We don't do a lot of live production where we have to be like physically in a space with tons of people and all kinds of different challenges, right? Like there are connectivity issues. You're in an event center. There's thousands of people, milling around. They could knock over equipment. What kind of equipment do we need to have on site in order to bring this to life? What kind of internet connection? So it was this really cool challenge that was great for our team, but also gave us a ton of understanding of what someone in a live production environment would experience when using our software. So I think from that end, Campaign almost built itself because we were really thinking about it from a community first standpoint. We're like, well, this is important to a huge member of our community. And it's also really beneficial to a number of people within our community who don't see this kind of content from us ever. And so I think it worked really well from that. Because and you're an example of this in many cases, but we have a portion of our customers who are doing regular worship content, content of their church services, of their synagogue services, right? So, and they're doing live production. That's what you're all doing. You're physically in a building. There are typically a number of different volunteers that are helping. You have much, different and in many cases more expensive equipment than your average podcaster or YouTuber. Right. So I think this was just a really cool opportunity for us to really understand what those challenges were and to test out the software. Like, how well does it actually work in these kinds of environments? Right. What updates might we want to make? And, how can we really support this community better? So it's been great. And there are going to be 3 of them next year. So it'll be even bigger than it was
That's okay.
this year. So
That's awesome.
Excited for that. Yeah.
I was going to say is that I've been talking. We use ProPresenter, what I'm sure you're familiar with ProPresenter. Yeah. And it's powerful. I mean, being able to do the video walls and all the things that it does.
And put the Bible verses and the song lyrics and et cetera on screen. Yeah, it's an awesome software.
It really, and I actually got to several years, well, it's been, almost 20 years ago now, when it first came out. I actually got to go to Atlanta.
Did you really?
And do some of the first live on, hands-on certifications for ProPresenter.
Wow.
It was really cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that started out of Stanley, I can't think of his first name now, his church. It's actually the dad was a Baptist preacher, I think.
Interesting.
Anyway, and then the son, he has his own church too, and it started out of their church as kind of like a fluke of them trying to figure out how to do this better. And it has exploded. Yeah. Now professional commercial companies are using this.
Yeah.
But I keep talking to our folks. I'm like, hey, listen, this Ecamm thing's pretty cool. It actually
Ecamm works really well with ProPresenter. So there's definitely a lot of the churches that will use both of them together. So that's awesome.
Well, we do live streaming, and I keep telling them, hey, listen, you wouldn't have to pay that big, huge fee you're paying to that live stream company. We could
True.
do it through Ecamm, and if you just pay
Yep.
them the $400 a year,
Yep.
and not the $5,000 you're paying to this live streaming company. But anyway, that's
So
another.
true.
I know. You know, one of the things too that I was thinking about as watching the con, that the card party and everything, was gaming. The gaming community. I mean, this is a huge untapped resource for you all right now that's out there, because Twitch and all the different streaming services, the different things that these gaming kids are, like my son, he's using Xbox, but he keeps talking, Dad, I want a big computer. I want a gaming computer so I could do these things, and I want my own camera and my own lights and this. I'm like, yeah, just you can stick with Xbox. So, but there's a really huge market out there that you guys, I see that as being the next adventure for you all to really infiltrate into that and run OBS off the market when it comes, because Ecamm is just so much more easily user friendly. So anyway, the other piece I wanted to, as you were talking, was this ministry of connection and of connecting. That's really, because that's what you're doing. You are taking me and I'm connecting to something I would have never watched ever with Card Party. I mean, it would have never even crossed my radar. But I watched it, and then I'm now inspired, thinking, I wonder what I could do in a live event, and we could stream that, use Ecamm. So anyway, listen, you're I'm going to be completely honest with you. Someday I'd love to work for you. I would love to, because I would love to be at Ecamm or somehow, some way, because that's just it's my heart and my passion anyway. It'd be a good side job for me. I need to figure out a niche so I can get over there. But my next question is this: what have you learned about the transitional phase when someone says yes to the platform or the community, but still doesn't believe in themselves yet? How do you help bridge that gap?
That's a good question. I mean, it's a mix of a number of different things. We're trying to do a better job of connecting the experience when you first download the trial or start using the tool better with our community and our email newsletter and the huge amount of training content that we provide on a regular basis. So I definitely think we have a little bit more work to do there, but we have certainly, a number of different plans to get there. But I will say that once you are part of our community or you're receiving our emails to some frequency, we run anywhere between, I want to say 8 and 10 different free workshops and live trainings a year. And then we do an in-person event, which we mentioned at the beginning of the show, called Creator Camp. And then we do a large virtual summit that we call Leap Into, insert topic here, Leap into podcasting, Leap into video, Leap into live streaming, live selling, etc. So we do have lots and lots of opportunities for our customers to practice and to learn together. And almost all of those workshops include some level of whether it's a challenge or a Q&A or a co-working time, so the concept is, we get it. We understand that this feels scary and intimidating and you may not know where to start. So start with us. Come learn this one part of video creation or of Ecamm or of, marketing, understand it better, but also meet the other people who are at the same level as you and at the same place as you. And we'll, for the first bit, help kind of foster and build those relationships. And then our community is so great that they are setting up their own, masterminds and meetups and networking opportunities. So ideally, you learn with us, but you also find your people within the community, or even, through the community, maybe outside of that group, to be able to spend time together and practice and learn together, whether it's, jumping on a quick, Ecamm Zoom call and being able to push buttons together and figure something out, or, testing and practicing interviews or whatever it is. I think we do a pretty good job of offering a lot of different
100%.
resources and also connecting people together so that they really understand how they can get to that next step. So it's a constant, it's always going to be a pain point that it feels scary. We could certainly work more on trying to help make the software itself maybe feel a little bit friendlier in the UI, but I think a lot of it is really just practicing and playing and spending time together. You got to get your hands wet. And keeping in mind too, I think it's really important to say actually that, 99% of the people that are using this software do not have a video background, right? Like they do not have a broadcasting background. They do not, like, all of this feels new and big. So it's not just Ecamm, it's how to create video in general. It's like all of the tech is outside of their background and their experience level. So you are learning a lot to get going in this space, and most people, like, that is a big first step, and then the rest of them feel a little bit easier, but that first step is a big one. So it's important to keep in mind. People feel like they should know more than they actually do, and it's just important to remind everyone that no one should, like, there are people who have spent their entire careers learning and mastering this, and this used to be in television studios worth millions of dollars of equipment and people whose various levels of expertise are in it. So it is a lot that we are putting on ourselves. So it's important to remember that it will take time to get over that first hump.
For me, I have a radio and TV background. I've been involved in broadcasting. I worked for a local TV station. I worked for a local 50,000 watt radio station. So
you've already got a leg up over many people.
But that all being said, and then like I told you earlier that I have a extensive background in pro presenter as well. This is very different because what this has done, I think I told you, maybe you and Doc this during the interview, or maybe I was thinking it. I mean, 25 years ago when I first started in this work, when I was doing all this, you would have to do what we're doing right now. I would have had to have at least 6 different pieces of equipment, and several of them would have been thousands of dollars. Just the Kramer switcher scaler. I don't know if you know what that even is. So with that piece of equipment is what's letting me do the switch between our video, because it's a switcher right here on the camera switcher. That was a whole hardware piece that was about $2,000 25 years ago.
Yeah, and took up a ton of space. Like you couldn't, and here I am in my tiny craft room. Like I can do it easily.
And now for $500 a year, I have all that right here on my screen. The audio module that I can use, that I played your intro music with, that would have been a CD player or a computer that would have just been doing that. All these scenes would have been either PowerPoint or, well, that was long before Keynote 25 years ago. But that would have all been a PowerPoint that would have taken me hours to build just to make that. So all this is huge. And then the fact over here, I'm doing this live stream piece over on the right-hand side, the little interview window that's got you in it. And I can switch between adding you. I can add 2 more, more guests if I, that's all crazy to even think of. So it's a little overwhelming. It was to me too when I first, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? So, but I think, like you were saying, there's so many great opportunities if you just will step out in faith and become a member subscribe to the Ecamm main YouTube channel. Now subscribe to what Jill's doing on Mondays with the Ecamm Fam YouTube channel. Get out there, find these, like Brandon Washington, DJ Strick. I've watched so many of their videos, over and over again. And then they were DJ Strick. He did the follow-up. I haven't got to watch the whole thing yet because they rambled on forever. I was trying to watch it at work, and they were talking about eating and breakfast and all that. I'm like, okay, come on, get to the good stuff. So but that's all right. It was fun because I love to see that camaraderie amongst them. So that's really cool. Yeah. And again, I just keep going back to the fact that you're creating this, you and Doc especially, but you, Doc, and Jill. Doc with his online presence, you with the community building, and Jill now with, that other piece. It's just creating such an incredible environment. And like I said, for me, I was like, I'm in. Okay, I'm in. I'm tell you what, I'm going to ask you 2 more questions if that's okay. And then we'll come back and maybe we'll finish this maybe next week or sometime if that's okay with you.
Yeah, sounds good.
I'm sorry that we got to talking about a lot of the stuff there early on, but
You're good.
I just appreciate you taking your time, and plus I want to honor your time as well.
Thank you.
So this next part really talks about kind of what I'm doing with the breaking barriers and building belief. So what barriers, mental, emotional, or even spiritual, do you see creators facing most often? Let's answer that first.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I think honestly, it's a lot of imposter syndrome. It's a lot of they don't feel that they are the person to be sharing that information. So like this is across industry, across experience level, across age. You know, they've got all the stuff, they've got the software, they know even generally how to use it. Maybe they still have a bit of practice, but they understand how to use it. But it's that point of just going live or just hitting the record button where all of that doubt pours in, and they're like, well, why me? Why would anyone listen to me? Who's going to show up? What if no one shows up? It's all of the voices in our head that tell us that we're not good enough, or don't belong, or that we don't have value, or that someone else could say it better. And what's again kind of interesting and special about the time that we're in right now is that there's this like influx of AI. So now we have all of these robots that can say it better, and in many cases can do it better and can do it faster, and and are eloquent and correct most of the time, but are able to be better than people in many, many ways. But they are never going to be you. They are never going to be human. They are never going to be kind of quote unquote authentic, which is a word we toss around a lot. So it's the cool part is that everyone feels really scared and really filled with doubt about all of this. All of the humans want to hear the flaws. They want to feel connected to someone. They want to feel like it's a human and not a robot talking to them. So if we can just get past that in our head, and we can remind ourselves that it's not about us, it's about the value that we're bringing to people, it's about the connection and about the community, there's a huge potential. So it is interesting. I feel like the time that we're in now is actually helping to break down a lot of those beliefs that we have, falsely put upon ourselves. And it's a neat time to push ourselves. And I think it's going to continue to be really interesting. But that I think is the biggest one that I see, is just the feelings of, what am I even doing this for? And kind of the feelings of doubt that come up.
Sure. I mean, I know when we had our interview several weeks ago, and even before that, I kept thinking, what do I really have to bring to the table? What is it that I have that anybody really wants to listen to?
Yep.
But something that keeps reoccurring, and a lot of the things I've listened to and with you and Doc and other pieces as well, is every single one of us have value. We've just got to get past the old tapes.
Yep.
Because those old tapes will do nothing but just drag us back. And,
yep.
I used to preach a sermon. I think I talked about this in our interview a little bit, where I talked about baggage. And we all have it, every one of us. And it's in different forms and fashions. Mine was a huge steamer trunk of it. And I was chained to it, and I kept dragging it with me. And I've got a lot of old stuff that had just... And so that all started creeping in. Oh, I don't have what it takes. Nobody was going to listen to me. Nobody is going to care. And, guess what? There are people out there that will listen and will pay to listen to you, or pay for the stuff you put out there. And it's just true. And I've already found it to be the truth. And and every one of us should want to put that out there, to be able to put ourselves out there, and because it really leads me into my next piece of this is, what role, and you kind of hit on a little bit ago, about what role does community play in breaking those barriers down?
Yep. It honestly just reminds us that we're not alone. The amount of times that I've been at an event, or I've been in the live chat of one of our trainings, or I've been in a workshop in a Zoom listening to people, being vulnerable and admitting when we have those moments publicly within a community, and then hearing other people echo that back. Oh, I felt that too. Oh, I had that too.
Yes.
Hearing other people that you think have it all together saying that they have the same doubts goes a really long way. Like I have been on live streams, and I have been on, interviews and in community spaces where I've heard, people that I think, have been doing this for years and years and years. I think are way, quote unquote, better at this than I am. And I hear them saying all of the same things that I feel, right? I literally was speaking at an event last year called Momentum, which is run by one of my friends, Lou Mangello. He is in the podcast Hall of Fame. He runs like a huge, is just incredible what he accomplishes. And he did an entire session with one of his colleagues and friends, Lisa, that was all about imposter syndrome. There were over 50 people in that room, and every single person went around and said like the things that they feel like they are not good at, or the voices in their head. There was not a single person in that room that was like, oh no, I'm good, I've got it all together, I don't feel that at all, right? So I just think like the value of community is an understanding and knowing that you're not alone, and that no one is expecting you to be as perfect as you are expecting yourself to be. And so giving yourself that time and space, I think, is really important. And hearing from the community that not only are you not alone, but like getting the opportunity to talk through ways to counter that and get past it and go through it, like having people to ask questions of and share ideas with and give you feedback and you give them feedback, those relationships do nothing but make you better. So
100%.
I just think even if you never want to be part of the Ecamm fam, or you never want to be part of like a larger community, find a few people that you trust that are in the same space as you to some level and degree, that you can spend time with, that you can get on a call with, that you can shoot a text over to, whatever it is, to be able to ask those questions. Because not doing it alone is how you can help kind of get yourself past all of those feelings. And they're always going to come up, so continue to battle them as they come forward. I mean, people can have decades of experience and still have moments where they're like, why am I even doing this? Or I didn't think that worked out, right? So I just think it's really, really important to have those personally, but also to have those relationships professionally. Like to have people you are a mentor for, and to have people that are helping to mentor you is just, it's so, so important.
Yes. For years in the church, it's funny, I can get up and talk in front of 500 or more people, and on a Sunday morning there may be 1,000 at our church, either online or in the building itself on campus. And I can get up and do it and not feel it. But then when I get on here, though, it's like I can't take that back. It's out there forever. So that was a lot of it. So, well, listen, I'm going to ask you. I'm going to try to just get through this last question, and then we'll wrap it up here. But you've built in the last 6 years, along, like I said, with a great team, and you're constantly building that team, and that's amazing. But you all have been able to build a community around Ecamm that feels more like family, which is, hence the name Ecamm Fam. What's your approach to building trust that lasts and is long lasting, especially when you're not selling? But see, I see it as you all as serving. You're serving people. Yes, there has to be a transaction. There has to be money taken so that you can have the software. But what's your approach to building trust that lasts, especially when you're not selling but serving?
It comes down to being really intentional with it. There's unfortunately no easy way to do it. It comes with just every single aspect of what you're doing. You need to be asking to what benefit, to what person's benefit, how is this helping people? You need to be spending a lot of time listening. So, wherever your space is for your community. So for us, it's either in a live stream chat, it's in our email newsletter, and it's in our Facebook group, right? So we spend a lot of time in the Facebook group just reading what people are saying, reading the answers back, kind of taking a pulse on the community. Like, how are they feeling? Like, is it getting a little heated? How can we keep this a positive, encouraging space? How do we make sure that everyone feels included. Like we spend a lot of time. Like Jill's whole job is dedicated to just being a servant of the community, being really there to understand how we can make that experience better for people. Are we, are we showing enough, different faces and use cases and examples so that people see themselves in the community as well? So again, it's a high level of intentionality, and it's a really, it's just having a really strong understanding of what the community says and what they do matters to us. So we need to be constantly paying attention to it and really listening to the feedback that we're getting and figuring out what changes we can be making, constantly making those tweaks to just get to constantly getting to a better place, right? We want our community to be an inclusive, supportive, friendly, encouraging family space. Sure, we're going to have moments, but in general, we want that to be that. And it hasn't always been. Like, there are constantly challenges where, the group feels too, negative, or someone gets really upset and it causes like, a bunch of responses, and we have to figure out how to deal with that. But in the end, we're just always trying to get back to that inclusive, safe space for our people so that they feel able to share their worries and their concerns and the pain points and the challenges they're having. We never want it to feel like, oh, if I say that, I'm going to get shut down, right? So we're constantly having to navigate a lot of different personalities. There are people from all across the world. There are people from all experience levels, from all walks of life, from all faiths, from all, every single different possible person out there exists within that space. And so it's just a constant intentionality of just trying to figure out what is best for the group, keeping in mind that pain point, right? That like, this is a group of people who want to be creative and professional and successful in video, and new people, it feels scary. So we need to make it feel safe and friendly and encouraging, that they can ask those questions and they can practice and play, and people from all experience levels can give their feedback and their support.
And that's why we're even in this conversation right now, why I'm getting the opportunity to interview you, is the fact that you all reached out and embraced me from the, I reached out to you all through the email, obviously to you specifically, but just the way that you and Doc just made me feel so comfortable and Good. A part of it already. And, just different little things along the way. And like I said, last Friday, getting to hang out a little bit with Martin, and it's just a really neat community. And I challenge anybody that's out there that's interested in being a part of live streaming, podcasting, any creative method that you want to do recording with, seek out, learn more about Ecamm, reach out to Katie. Katie, tell us a little bit about, because we're going to go ahead and wrap up, but if you want to tell us a little bit how people can maybe connect with you through Ecamm. And obviously Ecamm Live is the website to go to.
Yep.
And I'll put a link to that in the show notes when I finish and get it up on YouTube. And but tell them a little bit about how they connect with you and the different pieces.
Yeah, so obviously I am sitting behind all the different Ecamm channels. So if you look up ECAMM, you will find our website and our YouTube channel and our community and all the different places and spaces. If you go to ecamm.com/community, you'll find our newsletter and our different community groups and our YouTube videos. That's a nice central hub to grab all of that. You can email me anytime, like Bruce did. I'm just Katie, Katie at ecamm.com. I respond to all of my emails, so definitely send that across.
She does, I promise.
And then I am not all that hard to find in the interwebs. My last name is spelled Fawkes. So if you look up Katie Fawkes Ecamm, I come up in all kinds of different places. So definitely feel free to connect with me, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever different social platform. I'm happy to connect with you and answer your questions and jump on calls like this and anything in between. So it's been a really fun experience getting to know people a lot better through this. I really enjoy it.
It has been a blessing to, like I said, to get to know you, and just the short time that we've connected and everything. It's been great, and I've really enjoyed it. And again, you're speaking into my life, and I just really appreciate it. So just keep doing the great work, and thanks for I sent that email to you the other day, but thanks again for the great little shorts that you created. Those were so cool. It was
course.
so cool to get to see me on the on your old shorts. So that was really neat.
Yeah.
And some of my
Yeah.
friends were like, "Hey, I saw you on there."
Yes.
That's what we were wanting. That's the whole point.
Exactly. Exactly.
we
Oh, it's
cre-
all a
I-
lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Everything that you all do, I'm sure that, and listen, there's always hard work behind the scenes and everything that you're doing. But one of the cool things, even though everybody has differences of opinions, I know Doc's opinion about having it polished and professional is totally off the rails to way I look at it, which is fine.
Yep.
I
Yep.
want things to look consistent, as you could tell by the presentation and my
Yeah.
in my scene and everything. I want everything to look, like I've done this before, kind of,
Exactly.
But the great thing is when we all come to the table, everybody's working towards that same goal of just getting the content out there, using Ecamm to its fullest to make that happen, and then just helping everybody around us.
Yep. Absolutely.
So we are going to come back, and graciously, Katie has agreed. Maybe we'll try to look at doing this next Tuesday again if we have time and your schedule works out. I'll email you and see how that works out for you. But
Wonderful.
because I have about 5 more questions I wanted to ask. So next time
It's a deal. We'll do a part 2.
Yeah, there'll be a part 2. Next time we'll get right into the questions, and I won't belabor all the other stuff this time around. But like I said, there's about 5 more questions I wanted to ask you. And
Sure.
And again, reach out to Katie, reach out to Ecamm. Again,
Definitely.
she is everywhere, I promise you. And if you go on Ecamm Live on Facebook, great community there, great people that will reach out and they'll help. They'll give you, confidence. They'll give you insight. I haven't used it a whole lot because I've used Katie as my go-to here a lot, but definitely the folks there are just wanting to see everybody succeed, and that's the really cool part of Ecamm, and that's what has drawn me into it. Well, listen, Katie, again, I want to honor your time. I appreciate you coming out tonight, spending some time with us here on Beyond Limits. And for Katie, I'm Bruce Horstman. That's Katie Fawkes, and this is Beyond Limits, where we're breaking barriers and building belief. And if you want to learn more about me, we're going to have our website up and running in about 10 days. It's taken me a little longer than I expected, but we will have, I'd like to become an affiliate even with Ecamm so we can get them on there too and get their affiliate logo and get that out there as well. I'm an affiliate now for them. So I get to use them now as a
Awesome.
The cool thing about them is they just tell everybody we're sponsoring you. I thought that was pretty cool. Sarah Loretta,
They're great.
She's crazy. She's and Ollie there, he's pretty cool too. I've got to email him a few times, but we are being brought to you by Conserve LED. Conserve LED is a place where we do lighting. And we want to do it in the most professional way, but we want to serve you doing the lighting that we do, our LED lighting packages. And at Conserve LED, we do it simply, and we listen to you, and we want to serve you. So go online, look at conserveled.com, and you can find out more about what we do and how we do it there. And we appreciate any opportunities that you might have for us to come out and maybe talk to you a little bit about your lighting packages or your church or your business or whatever. So thank you so much for listening. And again, I'm Bruce Horstman, and this is Beyond Limits, where we're breaking barriers and building belief.